screen to work. Okay. There we go. All right. I think we're here. Okay. Y'all can see my screen now? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So tonight we're going to talk about crowdfunding. So now we're going to talk about crowdfunding, but we're going to talk about my company, which is called Vestor, and it's a crowdfunding platform. So is everyone familiar with crowdfunding? Okay. Well, I'll explain anyway. So crowdfunding basically it's a use of is individuals coming together to fund something, whether it's a business or real estate. Has anybody ever heard of GoFundMe? I feel like everybody's heard of GoFundMe. Well, that's the type of crowdfunding, okay? And so there are four different types of crowdfunding. You have a rewards base where you get some type of reward. If you give something, you'll get something in return. A donation base, which is GoFundMe. If you when you contribute to GoFundMe, it's like basically a donation. You hope it's going towards a good cause, right? Equity base is when you are investing in something in exchange, you're getting equity. And then debt base is when you're investing in something, but it's more of a debt. So maybe like a loan, like you're becoming a bank. Okay. So what's a funder? So a funder is Vestor's terminology for issue or sponsor. And so basically a funder is someone who would issue real estate security and they're going through Vestor to actually raise the capital. So an investor is someone who wants to actually invest into something on Vestor. So that's our terminology for investor. So what's Vestor for those who don't know? Vestor, we are a crowdfunding regulation CF. We're designed specifically for commercial real estate. So hotels, we have retail on there as well now. And then also we are an alternative way that you can invest in commercial real estate or to raise capital. So what sets Vestor apart from other commercial real estate crowdfunding platforms is that we accept both accredited and non-accredited investors. So an accredited investor is someone who has an income of 200,000 or more or a net worth of $1 million or more, excluding their primary residence. All right. So those folks are able to invest. A funder is someone who can raise up to $5 million per deal per year through crowdfunding. I didn't make that up. That's through Reg CF or SEC, which stands for Securities Exchange Commission. And we're also a member of the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, which stands for FINRA. So we're not just like a website. Like we had to go through a lot of compliance. So why Vestor? Why would you use Vestor? Again, we're a crowdfunding platform, and our goal is to connect funders with investors. So how, if you do decide to invest, you can go directly through our Vestor website. There are other crowdfunding platforms out there. There's Realty Mobile, there's Fundrise, there's CrowdStreet. But tonight we're just talking about Vestor. So how you can invest on Vestor, we accept wire transfers, or you can use your credit or debit card up to $5,000. There's no fee for you to invest. So if somebody's like, hey, it's a fee to invest in Vestor, it is a scam because we do not charge you. The only people who get charged are the funders, and those are the folks who are raising capital on the platform. So this is me. For those who don't know who I am Davon Reeves, and I am the CEO and founder of Vestor. We launched 2 years ago on July 11th. And I started off as a front desk agent. I co-own 3 hotels across 2 different states. And now I'm venturing off into the tech space. And I have Anand Patel, who's our chief technology officer. He has over about 12 years of experience in tech. So stay connected with us. We are on LinkedIn, Vestor. We are on Facebook, Invest Vestor. Feel free to send us an email at invest@vestor.com and just go to vestor.com itself. Let's see if we can pull up the website. There we go. Let's see. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. There we go. Now y'all can see. Okay. So I always have a whole bunch of tabs up. All right. So this is the Vestor website for those who haven't seen it. So we have it designed in different pathways. So you'll go to click here to invest. That's if you want to see what deals we have available. You can read about our story, how you can become an investor. There's some education. We have some podcasts. We have blogs, events, and frequently asked questions. And if you want to view our current investment securities, you can just click here. So currently we have two. We have a hotel investment opportunity. We had one that was funded earlier this year. Okay, and then we have a retail investment opportunity. It's a car wash, so that is closing soon if you would like to invest. So what you would do, you would just click on the link, click on the link. You can read more about the deal. There's some videos so you can learn more about the pitch deck. You can click here to invest. And then once you click here to invest, you would create an account and you just follow the pathways. Now, if you want to raise capital, you just submit a request to raise capital. And then you can also, oh, I was moving too fast. Click over to how to raise capital as a funder. And so it walks you through how to raise capital as a funder. And then we'll connect and see if you're a good fit for Vestor. So that is Vestor in a nutshell when it comes to crowdfunding, whether if you want to invest or raise capital. Now, does anyone, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can see if you have any questions. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Good evening. I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Okay, I do have a question. You mentioned if you wanted to participate as a funder, and there is a fee for you participating as a funder. Would you mind explaining that a little bit more? And then would you also mind explaining, I think I've heard that there is a fee to utilize a crowdfunding platform. Would you mind sharing that a little bit? If Vestor offers a fee, or if there's a fee associated with Vestor, or if not, would you mind explaining that process too, with when there is a fee associated with when you utilize a crowdfunding platform? Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So there is a fee if you're a funder. So it's 5% of the total raise. So if you decide to raise capital on Vestor, then you would pay us 5% of the total raise. If you decide to invest in a deal on Vestor, you would not have to pay a fee. I don't know about any other crowdfunding platforms because you shouldn't have to pay to invest unless they charge you for like credit card commissions or wiring fee, but you shouldn't have to pay to invest. And I can't speak for other websites, but for our site, you don't have to pay to invest. You just have to pay if you decide to raise capital.
Okay, thank you. And then is it that the fee is associated because you're utilizing the investors within your Vestor platform?
So it's a combination of the folks who are in our community and the funders community as well. So it's their responsibility to promote the deal because we're just a crowdfunding portal. So we don't have any equity and it's not our deal. We're just a platform. So it's up to the funder to actually promote the deal as well.
Okay, awesome. Because that explains it. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that.
No problem. Did we have any other questions? Could you share how the investment costs and returns are monitored through the investment period? Are there regular audit reports? So it varies per deal when it comes to the investment costs and returns. So we do monitor from an investor standpoint to make sure that the investors are getting what they were promised. So if they were promised, a return on a quarterly basis after year one, then that's something that we will monitor to make sure that our investors Now, if the company, of course, didn't make any money, then of course we wouldn't. But if they want to make, if they are supposed to be getting some type of return, then we would check that. And there are the regular audit reports. Yes. So all part of that is part of our compliance that we have to do with FINRA. So yes, there are regular audit reports that we have to conduct. They're good questions. Okay. What? Okay. How many investors are in their network from the site? How many folks are in our community? Collectively, probably over 30,000 collectively. It says, oh, hi, Shannon. Thank you so much for joining us from, was it Papua New Guinea? Are there minimum and maximum amounts for funding? The minimum, we try to stay at 250 and the max is 250,000 and the max is $5 million. There are exceptions, but the max is no exception on that because that's a Reg CF rule. So the max is 5 million. How do you vet the deal before it makes it to investor? So we see if it's an actual deal or not. So you have to get under contract. You have to have a PSA or purchase sale agreement or under LOI, a letter of intent before you can come to us. And the reason why, because we want to make sure we don't want, because our job is to protect the investors. So we don't want a deal on the site and you not even under contract and you have to give all the investors their money back because you didn't make it you didn't even make it to under contract. And also, we're our job isn't, because your job is to do the due diligence. Of course, we check to make sure if the return seems unrealistic, if it doesn't make sense. Also, we only take commercial real estate deals. We don't look at residential. We don't do startups. So just mostly actually all commercial real estate. It says, what are the fees associated with raising capital? 5%. The total is 5%. There's an onboarding fee of $1,375, non-refundable. And then you have to have a lawyer, legal use to prepare your offering documents. If I wanted to raise capital for my product, do I have to declare my business a certain way? Not necessarily. That's up to you and your legal team. If you want to have it as an LLC, majority of the things I've seen has been LLC. Is there a limit on duration for mixed use? Yes, anything that's commercial real estate. Is there a limit on duration for investing window? Yes, and that's dictated by the funder. Mostly we've seen 3 months or more. Some deals that's coming on is going to get into the 2025. They're just going to have different phases. Some good questions. What would you see would be the total soft cost to get a deal to pay for attorneys? For investor, it varies, probably low 5 figures for the attorney fees. So maybe maybe 4 to 5 figures, 8 to 10,000 for attorney fees, 1,375 for the onboarding fees, and then 5% of the total raise. What's Vesta's position in terms of foreign investment? Yeah, we can't take foreign, like if you're from a different country, we can't take the funds. We're not there yet. I know you're on the other side of the globe. I know, not there yet. Give us until next year. We'll probably have a different answer. Yeah, these are some great. Oh, Britain left. Now, these are good questions. Yeah, once you start the process on our platform, then we'll recommend attorneys for you to use that deals with Reg CF, because Reg CF is a little different. So you want to deal with an attorney who has experience in Reg CF. If not, it'll take a long time for you to get up and going. What are the two opportunities you showed? So it's a hotel multifamily fund, and then one is a car wash. Yes, where they locate. The car wash is in Rhode Island, and then the hotel is in Ohio. It says some having $1,000 and some who wants to invest six or if they need. Well, we don't have any deals on our platform for $1,000. I think the lowest now is like maybe $2,500, $5,000. That's the lowest. And some who wants to invest six figures need it won't need separate contracts. That's just up to the issuer or funder on how much they want to set the minimum investment for those. The car wash is a minimum of 5,000, and then the fund is 25,000. Oh, thank you. Is it Latanzia? Did I say it right?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Yay. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. If I can get this stay rich here in Omaha, I'm bringing to the platform submitting LOI next week. Folks, I'm more acquisition. Hey, I tried to tell you. Hey, I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you. Don't start off with a development. Start off with the acquisitions. I don't know why y'all folks don't be listening to me. I said I've learned a wealth of information. I still learn something new daily. Oh, I try, Miss Darlene. You're my biggest cheerleader. You're so awesome. Yes, yeah, development. So it's hard. It's the hardest part about development is the funding. That's the hardest part. It's the funding. That is the funding and the politics of it. First is the politics, and then it's the funding in that order. This is fantastic. It's all new to me. I've heard about crowdfunding, but never heard of it in this capacity or context. Definitely keen on exploring opportunities. Yeah. There are some other websites where you can you can invest as a foreign investment, but just not now. So I'm sorry, Shannon. Yeah. So with development it's the politics. So if you don't have, sometimes what people do, they hire a lobbyist to help them with the politics side of it. But yeah, development, it is the politics first and the funding second. I've seen deals taking 10 years. So that's what we're trying to tell y'all. And they had money. So imagine if you don't have money. I be trying to tell folks that. Yeah, it's hard. Did you discuss acquisitions? No, I think we're gonna start that in December. December 5th is when we're gonna talk, is when Tommy's gonna talk about acquisitions. Any other questions? These some good questions. And let's see. Is there a limit to how often you can utilize the investment fund? Oh no, not at all. Oh, the fund deals? Yeah. You mean like to become a funder or an investor? Because a funder, you have $5 million per year, and that's Reg CF. So if you use investor and you raise 2.5 million, and then you go to another crowdfunding platform and you can't raise 5 million on that platform. It's a Reg CF rule, it's an SEC rule. It used to be a million. They just raised it a couple years ago. These are good questions. I just started recently. We ever give some brief on how I got started? I don't know. We got enough time left on that. But just briefly, I started off as a front desk agent, and then I navigated my way into hotel ownership by taking a non-paid internship for a hotel development consulting firm, which is where I learned a lot of my, or I gained a lot of my hotel development experience and feasibility study experience. And then I was there for about 2 years after they hired me. And then I moved to Boston for 2 years. And that's where I learned more about asset management and built more. I've been building relationships since I started that non-paid internship. And then, the challenges, uh, trying to figure it out. Because I had to figure it out as I went. Like there wasn't a lot of information on buying a hotel unless you were part of a certain group of people. And it wasn't as much information as it is now. Like it wasn't a Davon Reeves back then. And so that just, keeps me motivated. You all keep me motivated, keeps me going. So yeah, it says one great $5 million deal per year should be a nice setup. Yeah. How do you have any career? Oh, okay. No, no, not in a moment. Next year will be expanding. Next year we'll be hiring some folks. Am I going to the Lake Charles Hotel Retreat? Yes, I am. So Lake Charles is the AJA Investments was the first successful hotel deal or first successful deal on investor. And yes, so I will be there to support my friends and to support the folks who invested who invested in Lake Charles through Vester. So yes, I'll be there. Dwayne, will you be there?
Yes, yes, my wife and I will be there. We are limited partners in that deal.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you let us know? We giving out shirts. Well, for the folks who invested in, I hope we have your shirt size.
Yeah, I think we provided that.
Okay, perfect. So how does it feel being a hotel investor?
It feels good. Lake Charles is actually my wife and I's hometown. We're from there.
Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. And so now you get to go to the hotel and check in,
Yeah,
and that's gonna be a great feeling.
yeah. That town's been through a lot, with some hurricanes a few years back. So happy to be, investing in the community and the hotel. I think it'll be a win-win.
Oh, well, thank you. We thank you for your support. We thank you for being one of the first investors on Investor. So we'll have a little something for y'all. So we appreciate you all.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So thanks for your platform to be able to fund that investment.
I'm just curious, how did you hear about us?
Aquania. I was on a mailing list of Aquania Escarnet.
Oh, yes. Oh, yep. She's one of my first investors in my home two suites. I love it. I just love it. It's beautiful. Thank you. So it says, what is the general rate of return on retail and hotel investments? I know that may be a broad question, but any insight would be helpful. It is a little broad. I don't know about retail. So every week, Miranda goes live talking about retail investing every Wednesday. Well, I think this week will be the last week. Um, so that's probably a better question for her. So yeah, if you can get on those weekly calls, because she knows more about retail. So I don't even know what a return, probably 8 to 10%. That's the rule of thumb. And for hotels, the ROI will probably be 15 to 20% or 2x equity multiple. It varies per the deal, and it also varies on what you're trying to do. Because some hotels, they're not big in cash flow, but they're big on the equity multiplier. But you don't get your equity multiplier until you sell the hotel. So it varies. Oh, good. All right. Well, if y'all don't have any more questions, we'll see you all next week for is week 8. Yeah, I think next week 8. We got less than 50 days left in the challenge. So next week, Tyler Cornelius, he's going to be tuning in because I'm going to be in Lake Charles. Tyler Cornelius, he's going to be talking about hotel financing and what you need to get ready to acquire a hotel from the lending perspective. So how you can get ready for loans and what does that look like? So he's an actual mortgage broker for hotels. So if anybody who's trying to acquire a hotel, he would probably be one of the best people to talk to. So thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I'll just hop on and say hello, but Tyler is going to handle the rest because I'll be in Lake Charles celebrating with my fellow hotel investors. So I thank you all so much for tuning in and being with us since week 1, day 1. I hope this information has been great. And I'm glad to see we have some new real estate investors on the call. And you all have a great night. Thank you all.